What is Ambisonics? You might have asked this question before, and chances are that the responses you received were not entirely satisfying, or they may have even left you behind puzzled. Rest assured that you are not alone in this situation. Reasons for it are many, and one is certainly that the one and only definition of Ambisonics does not exist, and the way people are thinking about Ambisonics nowadays can be quite different from how people were thinking about Ambisonics, say, in the 1970s when it was originally proposed. So there are different perspectives on the matter. I have also found it difficult to teach Ambisonics to my students in the Sound and Vibration program here at Chalmers University of Technology based on the tutorials that exist. So what I'm attempting with this series of videos is to fill that gap and to make the concept of Ambisonics accessible to people with a basic understanding of audio engineering. So I will assume, say, that you know what a multi-channel audio signal is or what a microphone directivity is, for instance. I will not be able to teach you how to create great sounding content in Ambisonics. If you are interested in this, it may be useful for you to know that this Ambisonics tutorial that I'm presenting here is part of a free online course with the title Spatial Audio Practical Master Guide that contains plenty of useful information when it comes to creating spatial audio content. It may also be useful for you to know that this video series is accompanied by a PDF document, and I urge you to take that PDF document out because the videos, they are literally more of a summary of that document, and the document comprises plenty of useful information that will not be part of the videos. So let's get started. Ambisonics, what is it then? Well, my take on this is that Ambisonics is a family of methods for spatial audio capture, storage, and reproduction that all build on a specific type of multi-channel audio signal termed an ambisonic signal. Here is a graphical representation of this. At the heart of it is this ambisonic signal, and I will explain in the next video in great detail what an ambisonic signal is. Methods for converting a sound scene into an ambisonic representation are termed encoding. Encoding can be performed based on microphone array recordings with arrays like this one, for example. But it is also possible to encode virtual sound scenes, that is, computer-generated content. Decoding is the process of computing loudspeaker feeds to reproduce the scene that is encoded in Ambisonics by means of a loudspeaker array or by means of headphones. So it is absolutely possible to reproduce ambisonic content binaurally. By the way, it was explained to me by a native speaker that even though the method is termed Ambisonics with an S at the end, if the term is used as an adjective, as in ambisonic signal or ambisonic microphone, you have to leave out that S. What is specific about Ambisonics compared to other spatial audio formats is the circumstance that information on the physical structure of the encoded sound field is comprised in the ambisonic representation. So in theory, it is indeed possible to record a sound field with a microphone array and then drive a loudspeaker array such that the recorded sound field is physically recreated. This is only possible in theory because, as we discuss in the accompanying PDF document, this would require thousands of microphones and thousands of loudspeakers. But the principle is there. It is absolutely possible also in other audio formats like stereo or 5.something surround to record a sound scene such that the reproduction sounds very similar to the original scene. The difference to Ambisonics is that the physical structure of the sound field that the loudspeakers in, say, stereo or surround create upon playback is very different, is fundamentally different from the physical structure of the sound field that was originally recorded. There are psychoacoustic reasons why things still sound similar, and the Spatial Audio Practical Master Guide comprises an extensive discussion of this in lesson 2.5. Ambisonic signals have a specific property termed the ambisonic order. And the ambisonic order represents the accuracy with which the structure of the encoded sound field is represented in the ambisonic signal. Higher order means higher accuracy. But as you can guess, higher order means also more channels. So a first order ambisonic signal, for example, would comprise 4 channels, and a, say, 7th order signal would comprise already 64 channels. It is very difficult to state what ambisonic order is required in what situation for the reproduction to be most favorable. There are absolutely situations in which a first order ambisonic signal will be entirely sufficient, and in some other situations it may be preferable to use a, say, 7th order signal. I will discuss this matter in more detail in the video on decoding. Here I only want to add that applications that require an ambisonic order of higher than, say, 7 are typically niche applications with very specific requirements. So in practice, it will be very rare that you will want to use an order of higher than 7. I would like to highlight another really cool aspect of ambisonics, which is the circumstance that it is possible to manipulate an ambisonic signal and implement spatial transformations that are either impossible or very difficult to achieve with other spatial audio formats. One such transformation is rotation of the sound scene about an arbitrary axis. I will explain this a little bit more extensively in the very last video of this series. For now, I would say it's time to take a break, but I do not want to end this video without acknowledging and appreciating the financial support we've received from the European Commission for the Spatial Audio Practical Master Guide, of which this Ambisonics tutorial is a part. See you in the next video.